is a thrilling fight between two very experienced Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighters. In the blue corner, from Brazil, it's Arthur Cesar. Go!
Arthur Cesar from Brazil, 1m87. Muay Thai background, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's 11-4 in mixed martial arts, so an experienced fighter, there's no question about that. And a very good proportion of his fights there have ended up in wins for him. Fights out of the Evolve Gym in Singapore, as you can see. Behind him, again, as usual with the Evolve guys, a sizable entourage accompanying him to ringside. He's won his last 3 contests, so a good streak of form.
In the red corner, from Canada, it's Robert Sothman.
Robert Sothman, Canadian, spending a lot of time in Shanghai these days. He has a 3-3 record in MMA, in other words, 3 wins, 3 losses. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu blue belt. Heavy hitter. We saw him ground and pound his way to a victory in Martial Combat 3. Always good to see winners return here to Resorts World Sentosa and strut their stuff again.
Very confident man. Robert hit me up on Facebook chat last week and basically told me that he feels like he's got this thing figured out. I asked him, you know, how do you feel going against such an accomplished Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt? And he told me he doesn't think that that's going to be that big of a difference. I don't know. I'd have him as a heavy underdog here, but confidence is everything in a fight, right? If I go into that fight, I believe that I can win that fight. At the end of the day, one punch is all it takes to change a fight, and so I got to respect him for that. He takes a fight no matter who it is, no matter when it is, no matter where it is, and he comes to fight.
Well, he's so out of his depth experience-wise, just purely in the world of martial combat. I mean, 15 fights against 6, that he's got to be thinking to himself that he's feeling that he's comfortable. Otherwise, he really is going to be out of his depth. He's got to click for him now. It's now or never.
To our sponsor, Appenzeller Beer, brought to you by Swiss Dream Singapore. This contest is scheduled for 3 rounds of 5 minutes each, and your referee for this fight, Mr. John Shaw. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for some combat? Fighting out of the blue corner, this man comes from the great footballing nation and perhaps the even greater jiu-jitsu nation of Brazil. He is a martial combat veteran who won here in June and is considered by many as an unstoppable force inside this cage. He stands at 187 centimeters tall and weighs in at 93 kilograms. He has an MMA record of 11 wins and 4 losses, and he fights out of the legendary Evolve MMA in Singapore. It's Arthur Cesar. Go! Fighting out of the red corner, this man comes from a country with one of the most beautiful landscapes in the world and is also producing some of the finest MMA fighters in the world. From Canada, he is a returning martial combat fighter and has already hit the international scene with 2 major victories in China. He stands at 185 centimeters tall, and he too weighs in at 93 kilograms. With a professional MMA record of 3 wins and 3 losses, is Robert Sothman!
Sothman looking particularly mean, looking at his opponent, pacing left and right, whereas Cesar has his back to his opponent, looking out of the cage. perhaps communicating there with his corner men, but not very willing to look at his opponent just at the moment. All sorts of distractions at ringside, Ray. Let's stay focused.
Sothman, a veteran of the Art of War Fighting Championships in Beijing, China. One of the very few promotions that allow knees to the head, soccer kicks of a downed opponent. So he's a tough, tough, tough guy. But at the end of the day, technique on the ground between a black belt and a blue belt is pretty significant. I know we're adding in punches, elbows, and kicks, but I have to think that Arthur feels very confident if he can get this fight down to the mat.
Sothman with a wide stance. A wide stance for Sothman, and he's very sort of, I won't say ponderous, but he's really concentrating hard, isn't he? And there's an economy of effort there as well. He doesn't like to throw wasted punches. They're going to fall short.
Gogo with the takedown right away into side control. Now this is where you're going to see black belt positioning. Sothman working for a Kimura, but he's going to have a hard time finishing that from half guard. If I was his corner, I'd like to see him try to bump back into his full guard position. You see Arthur now controlling that leg with his right arm. What he's going to try to do is he's going to try to pass over Sothman's right leg. Or if he can pass over that leg, he'll pass the guard. Working light chops, chopping punches down to the kidney area.
Looks like a bit of a stalemate down there, and it's no wonder that the referee keeps asking for more work. An elbow to the head there from Sothman. But he's taking the abuse to the side of his body. Must have been a dozen punches that have come into that left side of Robert's body.
Good control here by Arthur. Gogo taking his back off of the fence, using that shoulder pressure to turn his head to the outside.
Again, we're pretty much in a stalemate situation there.
Sothman trying to control his head, and really what he should be doing with that left hand is reaching it inside of his armpit, trying to get that underhook. Arthur doing a good job of keeping his head down, locking that. Now he's past the side control. Looking to go knee to belly and mount, I would expect. Very, very, very controlled pace here by the black belt. You can tell with every move that he's doing, he's thinking position before submission, displaying great technique. Sothman works his way back into the guard, though.
Position before submission. Nice mantra to follow.
And again, another guard pass. Arthur trapping the hand in between his legs. Robert needs to try to take that hand back out while he still can. Good job. And back into his full guard again.
It's a big effort for Sothman. You can see it on his face the whole time. Understandably looking concerned at his position. Wrap both of his legs around his opponent now. Can that garner any advantage for him? Trying to clutch his opponent's head.
I'd like to try to see Arthur Cesar posture up and try to pass. Right now he's just kind of landing, glancing punches to the body, head. Very basic combination. He's seeing a quick knee to the buttocks. But those are not going to be any damaging strikes.
The knee to the tailbone must be very painful. That looked to be in around that area. Down come the ground and pound punches.
And now you see him posturing. That's where it's going to have effectiveness. He's going to throw those legs to the side, and he's right back into the full guard. Good guard work here by Robert Sothman. I'm very impressed.
Suddenly a burst of action from Arthur Cesar.
And back into the full guard again by Arthur Cesar. I'm really surprised at this just because of the fact that with him having such a higher pedigree on the ground,
He's talking to his cornermen there, Cesar. It's all of this is happening in the evolved corner. So there's a conversation going on. And Arthur Cesar is an active participant in that dialogue.
Now you see Arthur Cesar posturing back up again.
Oh, he got caught, and it really shook him up.
Good up kick here by Sothman. That was a great up kick, reminiscent of a Jacare fight. I'd like to see Sothman engage. 10 seconds left in the round. Sothman showing great respect to the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, not wanting to enter into his guard, wanting him to come back up to the standing position.
Ray, what was it that caused that? It suddenly just exploded, didn't it? With